Jayden Daniels already scared the NFL. But if the Commanders just gave him enough help, Washington could become a nightmare nobody is ready for.
Yeah, all signs pointing in the right direction. You're hyping up those Giants fans out there, that's for sure, John Breitz. Let's get to the Commanders, who of course have their franchise quarterback. But John, do you still have some questions on if they did enough in the NFL draft to help out Jayden Daniels? And I'll also throw out there Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I think that is the big question. Have they helped their star quarterback enough? I just mentioned that 2024 season. Jayden Daniels was the offensive rookie of the year. He was the most electrifying quarterback in the NFL that year. And the Commanders' offense was almost unstoppable. One reason they were so good is because they were able to run the ball. You look at this year, and between free agency, between the draft, I'm not sure that they've added the kind of running back help that they might need to help Jayden Daniels. They did add Rachaad White, but he hasn't topped 625 yards in any of the past 2 seasons. And then you look at the wide receiver position. We know they have Terry McLaurin, but there isn't a lot after that. They did draft Antonio Williams in the 3rd round, but again, that's one of those question marks. You hope you can fill the role. But if he doesn't, then you're kind of back where you were last year. So Jayden Daniels certainly needs some help, and it will be interesting to see if they make any more moves to bring him some help in there.
I hear what you're saying, John, and I don't actually disagree. My specific concern, if you want to call it that, was they don't have a big wide receiver, and I mean tall, big, physical, imposing wide receiver. We just saw the Giants draft Malachi Fields in the draft on day 3 there, in the 3rd round. When you talk about the Commanders, yes, they have Treylon Burks on the roster, the former 1st-round pick of Tennessee Titans, but what he struggles with down the field is separation, so it's not going to be a situation where you can just throw the ball up and he's going to be open. That's what I feel like they're lacking. But you did mention Antonio Williams, and I went back and looked because these they're sort of the things I have to do. I had him in the 1st round of my way too early mock draft 12 months ago. He got injured in week 1 in that LSU game. It was never quite the same until later into the year. He is explosive, and sometimes you can make up a lot in terms of being explosive as opposed to not being the biggest receiver out there. And I think that is going to help that offense. They obviously have Scary Terry. De'Ami Brown's back on the roster. And I just want to shout out Ethan Kellick-Manis, the last pick they had there in the 6th round out of Rutgers, the quarterback, that we actually spent some time talking about the last 7 to 10 days leading up to the draft. I had heard that he had a chance to get drafted. He did get drafted. Now, you hope he doesn't play because that's bad news for the Commanders. But I think getting those wide receivers like Antonio Williams helps, but they certainly could have used a bigger target on the outside.
Welcome to Washington.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Super excited to be here.
Welcome to the family,
Excited
brother.
to be sitting here with you fellas. Just blessed to be here, man. Super excited. Obviously, a lot of emotions going on right now. Still sinking in. So
Have it sunk in yet, though?
Not all the way. Not all the way. I think it will when I come back. Actually
no
go
doubt.
home, then come back, get to work, then all kind of settles in.
But you say you felt like this was gonna be home. What did it? Was it the visit? Was it Coach Quinn? Or did you just have a premonition like, yeah, this is where I should be at?
I think it was the visit, and then get in the building and talking to everyone. Just a bunch of good people in the building, and it felt like the people in the building believed in me a whole lot. When I was here for the visit, like Coach Norton coming in, telling me like, he says like, hey, you're a good linebacker right now, but you're nowhere near
Your peak.
Your peak.
And that's good.
Go to Coach DJ, he's saying the same thing. Coach Quinn saying the same thing. Mr. Peters or AP, he told me to call him, saying the same thing. So I saw a lot of belief in the building, but more importantly, I saw a bunch of great people in the building. I was drawn towards that.
It's funny that you mentioned how they saying you're nowhere near the linebacker you're going to become. I said that multiple times. I was like, because I've been watching you since you was in high school and saw your journey going into Ohio State as a safety, playing there for 2 years. I saw you play your junior year at Ohio State in person. And then I watched you last year and seeing, I actually was at the Michigan game this year too. So just watching you and your ascension, what do you think has been the key for you as far as when you made the transition from safety to non-linebacker your 2nd year? What has been the biggest adjustment, and how do you continue to feel like you can improve your game?
And I think the biggest adjustment was being 10 yards back and things, you have time and space for things to happen and sort itself out. You're a free hitter as a safety most of the time. Now I'm at 5. Things are happening faster. Footwork's got to be better. Someone's climbing to block me. I got to get off blocks and make tackles fast. So that was an adjustment. And I think the thing that helped me most was just spending time studying the game and then just reps. reps. You get more instinctual. You start to trust yourself more.
One more. I'm glad you mentioned studying the game. Yeah. So I played with your dad in St. Louis 3 seasons, and going into last season, your dad, we keep in contact with each other via text message. And I called him, and I was like, "What's going on? What you up to?" He said, "I'm at the house studying film with Sonny." Yeah. And when he said that, I don't know if you even heard him and remember that, but I smiled. It was like, let's do another game. Yeah. How has your father helped you throughout this process?
I mean, my dad, especially when I switched to linebacker, he was coming in the building, watching film with me at 6 a.m. Wow. And going off to work. That just shows how much he cares about me, because he got so much other stuff going on. I'm in college now. I'm no longer under his roof. But he wants to be there. And always be there to support me and however he can. So watching a bunch of tape with him all the time has been great. And then all the little nuggets he had for me.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because that's the question I was going to ask you, that journey. You know, I heard an interview, your mom was talking, she like, look, I want no credit. Got to give it to his dad. His dad had them 2 little boys out there doing their thing. Thinking back, because we all been here before, been in that seat. And after you get a chance to get, drafted, you reflect. Have you got a chance to reflect, like, man, everything I did with my dad up to this point, it all paid,
Yeah, I think I reflected on that early morning yesterday. Just thinking about when I started playing like 4 or 5 years old, and just going out there chasing my brother around, doing the little workout speed, like we're doing all these competitions in the summer with all of our friends, and just going up to high school, all the work that got put in high school, then college, switch positions, all to get here just to this moment. And, I know everything worked out just how it's supposed to. I think it's all in God's plan, so I'm super excited.
No doubt.
Well, they say the Ohio State, and y'all say that for a reason. You know how y'all feel about y'allself and y'all standard and y'all football players. And yesterday you had 3 other brothers, former teammates, go first round. How do you feel that Ohio State has prepared you for the league?
I think what we do so well is we develop guys as men off the field. And then as well as on the field. But I think it starts with Coach Day. He's a great man, great leader. Then it goes to Coach Mick, our head strength coach. He basically becomes the head coach in the offseason. And the amount of time we spend with him, teaching guys how to work hard, how to be disciplined, creating the culture that we need to, play at an elite level. But, that's why we say developed here. I think when you get an Ohio State guy, you bring a guy in the building that's ready to be a pro right now.
Yeah, and y'all practice together. Can you take me through a practice with Caleb Downs, you, Arvell Reese, and all the dogs y'all got on the other side? Did y'all do 1s versus 1s a lot, or is 1s versus 2s most of the time?
It just depends on the week, like how far you get into the season. We compete a whole lot, though. I think if you ask NFL scouts, whoever come to practice, we practice pretty hard. I think our practice look fast, violent. It's intentional, but I think the most important thing is the communication aspect of it. I think we communicate at a very high level, especially on the defense side of the ball. I thought we did that really good.
You mentioned your brother, Lorenzo Jr. You and him are going through this journey together, and hopefully, either today or tomorrow, he's drafted and brought into this NFL fraternity as well. What's it like going through this with him?
It's a blessing. Just be able to experience all these moments together, experience the combine together. Like my day when I was training on the field, he was out there supporting me. Then he's out there competing on his day, I'm supporting him. Then you got mom and dad in the stands. So just experiencing all this together as brothers, it's awesome. To be able to play at Ohio State, the highest level of college football together. You're just so appreciative for it. We soaked it all in. Maybe we'll reunite in the league. So who knows?
But I can say the breakup is coming.
Not necessarily. You're not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
We don't know yet.
But it's a 1 in 100 chance for the first time they might have to play against each other. And how surreal would that be? Let's just say if
But they ain't going to be on the field at the same time.
But still the competition is there. Just like Santana and Smart, they never, 2 wide receivers. Santana wanted to win, but his brother got a ring. So how would that feel? How would that feel if you see him on the other side?
If you see him on the other side, you got to get after him.
For at least 3 hours.
You got to get after him. You got to see me for 60 minutes.
Man, that's messed up, man. Hey, so, as far as what are you like? What things do you like to do off the field? Like, we know you love ball. You've been around in your life, but what's Sonny like off the field?
I'm a simple guy. When I'm not in the building, hanging out with family, hanging out with my brother, hanging out with my girl. I started golfing about a year ago. I do that in the office.
Yeah, that's a good step.
I'm terrible though.
Yeah,
No.
He is too. Fred is too.
Listen,
I go
He
out there.
might be worse than all of us.
Greatness take time, brother. Don't let them rush you.
Oh man, I just go out there and have fun. That's all.
Well, is it any fishing in there? You like get your hands dirty, like playing the
I used
dirt,
to fish.
four-wheelers?
I used to fish a whole lot with my grandpa when I was younger.
Yeah.
I haven't really done as much. We used to go on like trips like Canada, Michigan, a bunch of places. So man, I might catch up on some more hobbies, figure out some more things to do outside the game.
Yeah, just hook up with Terry McLaurin. He do a lot of fishing here. You know, your Ohio State brother, and so he'll take you to some good old fishing ponds.
No doubt, no doubt.
Oh, man.
So let me get one more question in before it's over, and I'm gonna ask you this up so we can let you go. What is something that you're looking forward to when it comes time, when everything is final and you can get in here and start working out with everybody?
I'm just excited to earn respect of the guys in the building. I think a rookie coming in, he's the first round pick of the organization. There's high expectations. I have high expectations for myself. But I think just getting started, showing up, being reliable and consistent. You know what you're getting with me, and I think you got to earn that. And once I earn that, keep that trust, and just help the team win. Any way possible, whatever I need to do.
Man.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.